like I said, I mentioned earlier, you really want to focus when you're drafting the claims. Keep these things in mind. The step 2A and step 2B of the Alice-Mayo test. And I think it's important, not just for the patent office. I think it's important when you get further down the road. But you really want to ask yourself when you're drafting the claim, have I in the claim demonstrated that this inventive concept has been integrated into a practical application? And that's of course the prong 2 of step 2A, so that even if it's determined that the claim is directed to an abstract idea, if it's integrated into a practical application, then you go, you jump immediately to go, and you bypass step 2B. You've got an eligible claim to work on. What does that really mean? Well, the patent examination guidelines tell the examiners to look at, does the claim actually impose a meaningful limitation on the inventive concept? You look at the solely trained claim, they have a comparison in there. They don't really ever do anything with a comparison. Are they really integrating this in? You want to think about step 2B too, as does the claim recite significantly more than the abstract idea? I think that's a little bit of a trap, and I think I'd stay away from that for some reasons we'll discuss in a bit, but really focus on integrating that inventive concept into a practical application. And when you do that, think about what's the difference between implementation and application. There's a lot of cases where the court looks at the implementation. They say, like, how are you doing this? So implementation is how are you doing whatever this, implementing this abstract idea is. Application is what do you do with it? What is the actual thing you're doing with that abstract idea? And a good example of it, if you go back to the Diamond versus Deere case, and that was the case where the claim was calculating the Arrhenius equation and then using the results of that to open a mold, right? So implementation would be calculating that Arrhenius equation using a computer, but that's not application. Application in that claim was using the results of that calculation to open a mold. And I think that's the key that made that allowable.